In this video, we are going to discuss built-in exceptions.
Here in this Java program, I have defined one integer array. The name of the array is myArray, which is having 5 consecutive locations. So 5 elements we have put into this array, and during initialization of this array, we have also mentioned the size of the array. That means it is having 5 consecutive locations, and the subscript will be ranging from 0 to 4. So if any subscript, if we mention which is beyond this range, then obviously one exception will be occurring. So here we are printing the value of this array from the subscript number 10, which is quite well greater than the value 4. That is the maximum subscript possible for this array. And for this situation, one exception will be raised, and that's why we have written a catch block just following the try block here. And this catch block is handling array index out of bounds exception, and E is the respective object for that. And here we are having the remedial actions. That means we are printing one statement that is invalid index of the array. Okay. Now next time we have defined one string object, string class object, that is a myString initialized with null. And here in this particular system.out.println statement, we are trying to print the character at the 5th location. But this myString has got initialized with null. So if I want to pick up the character from the 5th index of this particular myString string object, obviously that will raise one exception. So one exception will be produced, and that's why this particular code has been put within the try block, and immediately this code is following the catch block, and that is the null pointed exception E. So system.out.println, the string is pointing to a null value. So respective string, respective message will get printed, which is the error handling part. Okay, now see, here we are trying to convert this ABC, this particular string, as an integer. So now integer.parseInt ABC string, which is not at all possible because ABC cannot be converted to a number. So that's why int number, when trying to initialize this number, there is a int variable, is not possible, and that will raise one exception, and that exception is known as the number format exception. So what will happen, this particular line will remain unreachable, unexecuted. Whenever we are trying to do this integer.parseInt, we are calling this particular method, converting one string to number, then immediately exception will be raised, and the catch block will get the control here. And here the exception name is number format exception, and this remedial statement will be printed. So now let us go for the execution. You can find that whenever I'm executing invalid index of the array, that means this line has got executed. That means the control came to this array index out of bounds exception catch block. The string is pointing a null value. That means this line has got printed. That means the control came to the catch block for this null pointed exception E, and it is not a valid number. That means control came to this catch block here. So in this way, you can find that how these inbuilt exceptions in Java we have handled. So now if I put this one as 1, so 0 to 4 is a valid index here because we're having 5 integers are there. So that's why one index is valid. So if I put here say 0, let us see that what will happen. And then obviously some exception will be there. And here if we put here 100, then 100, which is a string, can easily be converted to a number. So now see what will happen. So the value of the of myArray 10, so here I should write this one as 1, say I'm writing this one as 1. So now if I go for this, so the value of myArray 1 is 20. Yes, at the index number 0, index number 1 is containing 20. The string is pointing a null value. That means here it is producing exceptions because the string has got initialized with a null. But let us suppose I'm just putting this one as ABCD. So now see what will happen. So it is picking up the respective character 0 because I'm picking up the character from the 0th place. So A will be picked up, and accordingly outputs are coming. And in the last case, the number is 100. That means this line got the control, so catch block is not getting the control. So in this way, we have explained how these inbuilt exceptions can be handled in our Java code.